Hello and welcome to day 5 of the 7-day beginner yoga challenge. My name is Claudia and the focus of today's class will be yoga for strong core. You won't need any props for today's class. Let's begin. Today we're going to begin lying down on the mat. So come down onto your back. Have your knees bent, feet about hip distance apart, arms by your sides. You can close your eyes and we're just going to begin by taking a few deep breaths. So inhale in through the nose and exhale. One more time, inhale and exhale. So start paying attention to your breath, start connecting with your breath. See if you can start lengthening the time it takes you to breathe in and lengthen the time it takes you to breathe out. So nice and slow, deep inhale. Feel your breath traveling all the way down into the belly. And then a slow and complete exhale. Just as you think that you've reached the point where you can't breathe out anymore, see if you can push yourself just a little bit more to completely empty the body of the breath. And then notice the way you're lying on the floor. See if you can start bringing the lower back down on the floor if your back is arching, and tilt your pelvis forwards a bit to do that, and immediately you'll have to engage your deep abdominal muscles to do that. And then see if you can start breathing out with a little bit more force. So really having to connect to the core to breathe out completely. You'll notice that your stomach muscles will contract on their own when you breathe out with a bit of force. And then just bring your hands onto your pelvis, onto your tummy, and see if you can start on the breath out, tilting your pelvis forwards and sucking your belly button towards the spine. And then on an inhale, release. So it's just a little tilt. Exhale, tilt your pelvis forwards. Inhale, release. So we're just starting to warm up the abdominal muscles, the deep transverse abdominal muscles. Exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale. And then release your lower back down onto the mat. Engage your core and see if you can, on an inhale, lift your right leg up to tabletop position. And then exhale, release and switch sides. Inhale, lift your left leg up. And exhale, release. Keep your hands on your pelvis to make sure you're not tilting. So your pelvis should be parallel with your mat. Lifting the right leg up, inhale, release, and then left leg up, and release. So the same tilt with the pelvis, just like we were doing before, only now we're lifting the legs. One more time on each side. And you'll notice that to stop your pelvis from tilting to one side or the other, you'll really have to engage the deep transverse abdominal muscles. And release. Bring your knees to your chest for just a breath. And then bring your feet back down onto the mat. And this time, take a breath in. On an exhale, lift your right leg up. And then see if you can lift your left leg up as well. So the closer you have your knees to your chest, the easier it is. The further away you move your knees away from your chest, the harder it will be on the abdominal muscles. But make sure your lower back is not arching, so keep your lower back peeling towards the floor and just hold. One more breath. And then deep breath in. On an exhale, see if you can start touching your toes down towards the floor. And then bring your legs back up. Exhale, toes down, touch the floor. Inhale, back up. Exhale, toes down, touch the floor. Inhale, back up. If both legs is a bit challenging, you can do one leg at a time. So right leg down and then left leg down. Otherwise, let's do a couple more times. And then bring your knees towards your chest. Rock along the spine. Keep your right knee in and straighten the left leg down on the floor. Squeeze the right knee towards your chest. Then interlace your hands behind your right thigh and see if you can start straightening the right leg towards the sky. You can point and flex your toe here. Do a few circles with your foot, one way and then the other, just exploring the flexibility in the back of the right leg today. And then take a breath in, and on an exhale, see if you can start bringing your hands up your leg and lift your chest up towards your right leg so your shoulder blades are off the mat. And you can hold here. Maybe you can lift the left leg off the floor just an inch or two. Maybe you can release your arms by your sides and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your left leg down, bring your right knee into your chest, and let's take a twist. So left hand to your right knee, right arm out to the side, and then bring your right knee across to the left, twisting to the left, so a supinal twist. You can look towards the right fingertips. Try and keep the right shoulder blade on the mat if you can. Inhale, come back up. And we'll switch sides. So straighten the right leg, bring your left knee into your chest, hug it in. And then interlace your hands behind your left thigh and see if you can start straightening the left leg towards the sky. Point and flex your toes. Maybe do a couple of circles with your foot one way and then the other. And then inhale, on an exhale, start bringing your hands up the leg so you're on your calf. Lift your shoulder blades up. Stay here, or maybe you can lift the right leg off the mat an inch or two. Maybe you can let go of your arms and have your arms by your sides and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Bring your left knee into your chest, and then right hand to your left knee, left arm out to the side. Let's take a twist to the right this time. So bringing your left knee over to the right, left shoulder staying on the mat. Inhale, come back to center, bring both knees into your chest. And then you can have your hands under your knees and either rock up and down 3 times to come into seated, or if that doesn't quite work for you, you can roll onto your side and come up into a seated position, sitting with your legs crossed. Inhale, let's lift the arms up. Exhale, let's take a side stretch to the right, so right hand down on the mat, left arm over your left ear. And then inhale, both arms up, and let's go the other way. So left hand down, right arm over your right ear. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, twisting to the right. left hand down on your right knee, right fingertips behind you. Just for a breath, and then inhale, lift your arms up. And exhale, let's twist the opposite way. Inhale, release. And then come onto your hands and knees, tabletop position. So make sure your shoulders are over your wrists, hips are over your knees. Spread your fingers nice and wide so you can see the mat in between your fingers. Your hip width apart with your knees, shoulder width apart with your hands. And then engage the core muscles again. So the same pelvic tilt as we were doing lying down. So we're lengthening the tailbone towards the back of the room or the back of the mat. And you're not arching, you're not rounding with your spine. And imagine that you've got a very hot cup of tea on your back that you can't spill. So keep your back nice and straight. Inhale, let's stretch the right hand forward, left leg back. You can keep your toes and your fingertips on the mat to start with. Exhale, come back. Inhale, left hand forward, right leg back. Make sure the back is staying straight. And then return back to tabletop. Right hand forward, left leg back. Maybe this time you can lift. Exhale, lower back down. Left hand forward, right leg back. Maybe lift. And exhale, release. So you can always keep your fingertips down on the mat if you need. So one more time, right hand forward, left leg back, lift. Exhale, release, and switch sides. I think I may have just spilled my cup of tea there. Ooh. And release. Right hand forward, left leg back, lift. And this time we're just going to tap with our fingers and our toes down. 1. And lift. 2. And lift. 3. And lift. 4. And lift. And 5. And lift. Release your right hand down and your left leg. And switching sides. So left hand forward, right leg back. Let's lift. And then tap. 1. And lift. 2. And lift. 3. And lift. 4. And lift. And 5. And lift. Release your hand and your knee down. Bring your toes to touch, and let's sit back in a child's pose for a quick rest. So 1 breath in child's pose. And then inhale, let's come back up into tabletop position. Straighten the left leg. And then just keep your left toes down on the floor. Just rock forwards and back a few times just to stretch the back of the left leg a little bit. And then come into neutral spine. From here we're going to come into a modified side plank. So weight is in your right hand, right shoulder over your right wrist. Spin your left heel down so your foot is flat on the mat, and on an inhale lift the left arm up towards the sky. So I'll give you a few variations here. You can stay here, or maybe you can lift the left leg up just for extra challenge. Maybe you can look up. Hold. I am wobbling. And then exhale, release. Bring your left hand down onto the mat. Switch sides, so stretch the right leg back. And again, just rock forwards and back, stretching the back of your right leg this time. Come into neutral spine when you're ready. Weight is in your left hand, left shoulder over your left wrist. Spin your right foot flat on the mat, and when you're ready, lift the right arm up for a modified side plank. This might be challenging enough already, or if you want to, you can lift the right leg up and hold. And then when you're ready, both hands down onto the mat. bring your toes to touch, sit back on your heels, child's pose. Let's come back onto our hands and knees, tabletop position. One more time, let's stretch the left leg back. Just rock forwards and back, stretching the back of the left leg. And then one more time, let's spin the left heel down onto the mat, coming up into modified side plank. This time, take an inhale. On an exhale, bring your left hand down and then see if you can thread it underneath your right. So really feel the crunch in your obliques here, the side, your right side. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, arm under your, so your left hand under your right arm. Inhale up. Exhale, bring it through. 2 more times. Up. Exhale, bring it through. And last time, up. And exhale, squeeze, bring it through. And then lift the left arm up. Maybe see if you can lift the left leg again. And hold. And then release your leg and your hand down onto the mat. And switch sides. So stretch the right leg back, rock forwards and back a couple of times. And then come into neutral spine. Spin the right heel down onto the mat this time. Inhale, come up into a modified side plank on the left hand. Same exercise on this side. Inhale, on an exhale, thread your right hand underneath your left arm, squeeze the obliques, and then come up. Exhale, 2. Inhale, come up. Exhale, 3. Inhale, come up. Exhale, 4. Inhale, come up. And last time, 5. And come up. Maybe see if you can lift the right leg up and hold. And then release everything down onto the mat. Bring your big toes to touch, sit down onto your heels and rest in a child's pose. Let's come back onto our hands and knees into tabletop position. So just make sure shoulders are over the wrists to protect the joints. Inhale, stretch the right leg back and then lift. On an exhale, bend the right knee and bring your knee to your right elbow. And then inhale, stretch it back. Exhale, bring your knee to the left elbow. Inhale, stretch it back. Exhale, round the spine. Bring your knee into your chest. And then see if you can step the right foot in between your hands. Coming into a low lunge. So just make sure the right knee is over the right ankle. And just hold. You can release the toes on your left foot if you want to. So we're just holding in this low lunge. We're not going to come up. And then place the hands flat on the mat. Step the right leg back into tabletop position. And we'll switch sides. So stretch the left leg back and on an inhale, lift. And then see if you can bring your knee into your left elbow, 1. And stretch. Knee to the opposite elbow. And stretch. And then squeeze your left knee around the spine. Step it through between your hands. The left knee is over your left ankle. Maybe release the toes on the right leg just for the stretch in the hip flexors. And then step the left leg back, bring your toes to touch and sit back in child's pose. And then just walk your hands towards you. Sit back down onto your bottom, stretch your legs out in front of you. Keep the knees soft. Inhale, lift your arms up, and on an exhale, fold forwards. Bring your hands to wherever you can reach. So maybe grab hold of your thighs, maybe your shins, maybe you can bring your hands, grab hold of your big toes. And then come up. Let's bend the knees, bring your feet flat on the mat. Have your hands under your knees. Inhale, lift your chest forwards, and on an exhale, start bringing yourself back until you're about 45 degrees and you can feel a little shake in your tummy, so your core muscles are engaging. You can just hold here if you want, or maybe see if you can lift one leg up, maybe both into tabletop position. Maybe you can let go of your arms, so your arms are by your sides, and we're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then cross your legs, bring your fingertips by your hips, inhale, lift your chest forwards. One more time. Hands under your knees, maybe one leg up, maybe both. Maybe you can let go of your arms and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cross your legs, hands by your hips. Inhale, lift your chest forwards. Last time. Feet flat on the mat, hands underneath your knees. One leg up, both legs up. Maybe this time you can try and straighten the legs. Maybe let go of the arms and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Cross the legs, fingertips by your hips. Inhale, lift your chest, and exhale, release. And we're just going to lower ourselves down onto the mat with control. Bring the knees into the chest, rock along the spine, and then straighten the legs. Bring your hands over your head, maybe interlace your hands and just stretch up with your hands. Release the clasp and move your legs over to the right side of your mat, and then see if you can move your hands over to the right side as well. Maybe grab hold of your left wrist with your right hand and just really stretch the left side of the body. Deep breath in, and then move your legs to the opposite side. Move your arms to the opposite side. Maybe grab hold of your right wrist with your left hand this time and feel the stretch in the right side of the body. And then bring your legs back to center. Relax your arms by your sides. Let your feet fall out. Let your body sink into the floor and relax in our final pose, Shavasana. Please stay in Shavasana for as long as you've got the time, maybe a few more minutes if you can. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the class, and I'll see you on day 6. Namaste.